Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Last time, we've made our way to Solution 9. Now we're going to see where things go from here. So, let's dive on in. Alright, you're alive. Towers inside a tower. I see it, but I still can't believe it. And I do not have that one, Emo.
Okay.
For now, I say we proceed straight ahead. If we feel like we're getting lost, we can always turn around and go back the way we came. And of course now, Wuklamat is almost certainly going to guide us to each one of the Aetherites, but oh well. Crossroads already? Place is too much. No idea where I should go. Right, I've made up my mind. Let's head to that building there.
There you are! Lamati!
I would say Wuklamat shouldn't be this surprised by big buildings. The castle in Tuliolal is massive.
I was worried you might have had trouble at the checkpoint, but I see everything went according to plan.
Be one of
Well, that's
those
thanks to you.
mess people. One of the less ones.
Now,
I can't remember
I
what
know
they're
you've
called.
scarcely arrived, but I have a request to make of you.
Oh, a request, you say?
Yes, an important one. I'll say it plain. I want you to make peace with Zeralja.
What? I thought you said you weren't on his side.
We have come no closer to seeing eye to eye, nor do I condone his methods. Be that as it may, I don't want you to fight him. I don't want you to regret a decision made in anger and haste. Unequipped with regulators as you are, the risk is too great.
I appreciate your concern, but you asked the impossible. Zeralja murdered our father. His minions slaughtered our countrymen. He will never renounce his war. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to stop him. I know you love your people too, and so you must understand how I feel. Why I cannot, will not back down.
I I do understand. All too well. Let me say only this, then. Zoralja will use any means to win. If you would protect your people, return to them at once and prepare. Prepare as best you can. It may ring hollow coming from the queen of an enemy nation. But, unlike me, you still have the power to determine your own fate.
You really are a curious one. Look, you needn't worry for us. We have dependable comrades holding the fort in Tulihyolal. They'll keep everyone safe, so we can devote our attention to affairs here.
Please. So you have comrades on whom you can rely. I envy you.
You know, we'd like to learn more about you.
About me?
To be frank, we're still not sure whether or not you're trustworthy. So, if you have a moment, would you show us around the district? That way, we can get to know you better.
You're asking me, the Queen, to show you around? Oh, but I jest. I'm flattered that you've taken an interest in me. Very well. I shall be your guide. You're my guests, after all, and teaching you about my realm would be a pleasure in and of itself. If you like, I can introduce you to my citizens, too. I consider them family, as you do yours.
By all means, we're in your capable hands.
That you are. This will be an enjoyable and enlightening tour, I promise.
I didn't even know those guys were talking. My volume is turned down.
Let's begin then, shall we? I must say, I'm really grateful. This place is so vast and confusing, I didn't even know where to begin. While the district may seem daunting in size and structure, all the key facilities are situated near ley nodes, what you call aetherites. Remember this and you won't lose your way. Now then, seeing as it is right here, I will show you the Nexus Arcade first. Please follow me.
Totally.
This complex is home to all manner of shops. From food and daily necessities to technological conveniences, you can find most everything here. Everkeep's interior is vast, as you observed. This arcade makes it possible for people to acquire what they need in one centralized location. Amazing. How do you get to the upper levels? I don't see stairs. You see the glowing pattern over yonder. That is an automatic conveyor. Such contraptions are found throughout Everkeep, allowing us to swiftly move between faraway places. That will spare us some walking. Are they also made from that strange metal, what's it? Yes, the conveyors are powered by electro. As a matter of fact, the ore is integrated into just about everything in Everkeep, even the floors and walls. By etching arcane circuits upon it, electrope can be used to convert lightning energy to those of other elements. In so doing, we can achieve various effects. For instance, a conversion to wind produces flotation, which is required for the propulsion of our flying vehicles. A conversion to fire, meanwhile, produces light and heat, and it is employed in devices such as street lamps and heaters. There are even self-heating cups that keep your drink warm. Can you make a drink cold if you convert to ice instead? You certainly can. Our vending machines do just that. What's more, multiple energies can be combined to produce some clever effects. For instance, by manipulating the air with wind while projecting light with lightning, it is possible to alter one's appearance. It's almost scary what you can do with electrope. If such a wondrous material existed in our world, I imagined everyone would be fighting over it. The shop over here. What does it sell? Ah, yes. Let's go and take a look. I dare say you will find it interesting. I feel like that look from Sphene right there was a kind of, oh, you sweet summer child moment for Wook Lamont. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh, if we had that, we'd definitely be fighting over it. Yes, just like we did, Wook Lamont.
Yep.
Just like we did. The shop sells food. Those are the items on the counter. That's food? I can't imagine what they taste like. I thought you might be surprised. Your countrymen were too in the beginning. Come, you must sample something. Choose one and I will purchase it. Welcome, friends. How lucky you are for Her Majesty to treat you. The 5 items on display are our most popular. I recommend one of them if this is your first time. I'm gonna go with the bar in the middle.
I bet Zora gets the pink hexagons.
You're so right.
Keen on the perfect meal bar, are you? It's all the nutrients your body needs packed into a single foodstuff. The flavor is formulated to never taste dull, and one bar will satisfy you for a whole day. Many folks prefer this to taking multiple meals.
Okay, I picked the hexagon bag, and it's a salad paste. I don't know.
Of course, KJ goes after the black and yellow. There is a cultivated steak. It's not quite the same as the real thing they have out that they produce out in the outskirts, but it's a sight more affordable.
So we have...
This particular product is known as the Gold Label, and is a delicious hybrid of beef chicken grown in the plant on the 4th level.
So far we have a meal replacement bar, a sack of salad paste, and vat-grown meat. What'd you get, Zora?
I'm gonna die too fast. I couldn't read it.
Gotcha.
Mine's to help keep your figure slim.
I'm gonna have the steak. I'm absolutely starving. Thank you for your custom. This being Her Majesty's treat, it's bound to taste all the better. Say, would you mind sampling your selections here and now? It's been a long time since we had newcomers, and I'd love to see your reactions. I mean, compared to the horrors that I had to eat in the desert on the first, this should be fine.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
This is a great chance to learn about Alexandrian culture. Let's dig in. I mean, it's a protein bar. It's gonna taste like coconut.
That's not too bad, though.
Following Wuklamot's lead, you sample your selection. Amazing! I've never had any meat like this before. It's tender like chicken, but flavorsome like ronic, and the spices just give it the right amount of kick. I could eat this every day. I don't mind them. They're just happy to see your honest reaction. And how about you? I'm gonna say it's pretty good.
Same.
It's always such a pleasure. My thanks for humoring me. This does take me back. Though it was chaotic when the people of Tuliolal first arrived, we endeavored to learn about one another and embraced our differences. All right. What about you, Sphene? Aren't you going to have something to eat too? I appreciate the thought, but I'm fine for now, thank you. All right, but what's your favorite food, if you don't mind me asking? I'm gonna go with souls, Wuklamot. My favorite food?
Oh,
Why do you wish to know this? Because I want to get to know you better. Why else? The more you know someone, the more you grow fond of them. That's what my old man believed, and my experiences have led me to believe the same. My favorite food. Is it such a difficult question? I'm sorry, it's just... When I think of those who labor to bring us the food, I find I can't settle on one thing. I thought I was indecisive, but you're something else. Indecisive? Perhaps I am, but you didn't need to laugh about it. What was a tiny mumble jaw doing here?
Yeah. Little spy.
Unless Zoral Jaw has been cloning himself or something.
Oh,
Oh, that's something to look forward to.
damn.
I don't know about you, but I'm satisfied. Let's keep moving. Very well. Next, I was thinking of showing you the residential sector, but it's in part, so I can. But it's in part. That doesn't sound right in my head.
No.
But oh, but it's in part, so I can tend to personal matters. Okay. It still doesn't sound right, but I understand what it's trying to say now. It's a visitation, to be precise, and I believe it will be educational for you as well. Would the two of you mind accompanying me? Not at all. Wonderful. Let me know when you've seen enough here, and we'll make our way. Ready? Then let's head to the residential sector. It lies to the southwest. As we walk, I would be glad to tell you about any places of interest that we come upon. But yeah, I'm more and more getting the feeling that Sphene is not a person.
Yeah.
Or program, like you were saying. A robot. Or, what were those guys called again? What was MX Silk?
An Ascian?
An Ascian. They had a couple other Ascians there that aren't dead. And they were lower on the totem pole, if you will. And some of them weren't even that, they weren't bad. I'm just wondering if maybe, this could be. I don't know.
I would doubt it, but maybe.
Yeah.
This is Mosaic, a cafe. Here you can buy drinks to enjoy while you relax. I see. In Toliolol, there is a similar establishment called Zabal Te. That's a seashell in the local language. Is there a story behind the name Mosaic? There is. In our continent, the races are named for stones. There's the Hayun, who resembles some Tanawata, the tall and graceful Eldite, and the diminutive and affable Milala. When they all gather here, they appear as a mosaic of colors. Thus did the founder choose to name the cafe. Oh, that's nice. If they served tacos here, it'd be perfect. Tacos? A traditional Turali dish and one of my favorite foods. You must try it one day. Yes, definitely. We'll make it happen once we've restored peace to Toliolol. Right, let's continue on. I'm trying to remember my Ascian lore. I mean, there would certainly have been an Ascian on, I think the 9th is the shard that Alexandria is on. And there certainly would have been one, because somebody tried to do a rejoining using lightning, apparently. But I'm guessing they didn't finish it. And here we are. These buildings are where our citizens live. They're massive. Each one is bigger than the palace. They have to be, for just about all Alexandrians have apartments here. Lest you wonder, I'm here to visit some people. Their apartment is in the building on the left here at Residential Radius 914. Residential Radius? That's right. Come. The door opens automatically. Okay. I've just had a memory has just struck. Just 1 second. I need to check this. Okay, I just remembered when we fought the final battle against La Habrea back in Heavensward. He had another Ascian that was assisting him, and I remembered that that Ascian was considered to be lower ranked because they were sundered, and also because they had failed in their rejoining mission. But no, they were apparently the one who screwed up the 13th and made it the whole void mess that it is. I was thinking they might have been the one that screwed up the 9th, apparently, but no. Hey, Sphene, can anyone live in this place? Naturally. In fact, many of your countrymen make their homes here. No matter your origin or race, occupation, or regulator usage, all Alexandrian citizens are eligible for an apartment. This includes those you met who work in the outskirts. You've taken care of everyone for 30 years. I'm truly grateful. This is the lobby, a common area for residents. I see. And what does that machine there do? Ah, the concierge. They look after the residents. If you require assistance or have questions, they would be glad to assist. Is that so? I have no shortage of questions, but I'll direct them at you for now. By all means, you may consider me your personal concierge. This is the place. A mother and son live here. I was going to say, for an apartment of 2, that is a massive bar they've got. Hello, Isadora. Your Majesty, you came. I have friends with me today, is that alright? Of course, friends of the Queen are friends of ours. Please, make yourselves at home. I didn't notice. Is Isadora not wearing a regulator? Oh, she is wearing one. Okay. How has Milos been? There's been no change, but the symptoms are thankfully mild today. Hello, Milos. Have you missed me? My son was born with Levin sickness, a severe etheric imbalance toward lightning. As a result, he suffers from paralysis. He cannot walk and struggles to speak. For a blessing, he still has his hearing, and even on bad days, he can communicate with his eyes. I see. Sphene visits often, does she? She does. Milos simply adores her. He sometimes even manages to smile when she's here. What of yourself, Isadora? How are you holding up? You needn't worry about me, Your Majesty. You always make time for us, and we have everything we need. I'm glad to hear it, but you mustn't strain yourself, understood? There's nothing you can do for him? Perhaps a treatment with souls, or... Unfortunately, no. While souls can revive those who have met with an accident, they cannot reverse the effects of old age and illness. Truth be told, many children are born like Milos. The illness has existed for generations, but we've been unable to find a cure. The cause is quite clear, though. The excess lightning in the environment. It's no coincidence that the number of cases has risen dramatically these past 30 years. It's all my fault. What was that? I'm sorry, Isadora, but I must be going. I promise to make it a proper visit next time, with treats to share. There's no need to apologize, Majesty. If it weren't for you, Milos and I wouldn't still be here. Thank you, Queen Sphene. It's my pleasure, Milos. Be back soon, so be a good boy for your mother and for me. Now, Sphene, let's get ourselves on good terms. I'll make a little phone call. Alphinaud will take a field trip to Radzat Han, and we'll have this all fixed in about an hour, okay?
Well,
Yeah.
Because if there's
not only that, maybe he should take the red pill or something, you know? Get out of the Matrix. Oh my God, I just thought of that. I mean, the batteries and everything. Wow.
Well, I mean, they aren't able to leave the lightning area.
Right.
But Alphinaud and the alchemists back in Radzat Han know how to fix etheric imbalances.
Oh, yes, that's true. Well, I'm just talking about the whole soul using it as an energy source, like you were saying. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, we're in the Matrix here. Everybody's hooked up. Unplugged.
My current thought here is Sphene, as she said multiple times, loves her people like they're her family. So she's doing everything in her power to keep as many of them alive as possible. And she's kind of at the end of her rope on maintaining that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My thanks for accompanying me on the visit. The illness is part of life in Alexandria, and I thought that you should know about it. We'll find a cure one day, mark my words. We'll make it so unfortunate children like Milos smile again. Well, let's continue the tour, shall we? Look, you obviously have duties to attend to, citizens to look after. We can stop here if you like. No, I do this because I want to, so please do not worry. Next, I'll show you one of the district's most vital facilities, a place called Resolution. To reach it, we'll need to go by way of Leno 9. where the aetheryte is situated. And on the subject of Zoral Ja, I don't know how long Mamul Ja live, but he's probably getting on up there at this point. And probably wants someone to replace him when he goes. So, there might be a clone.
Hmm.
Mostly just because I feel like there were very few, if any, Mamul Ja living in this area that was sucked over to the 9th. So, he would have difficulty replacing himself otherwise, I guess.
Yeah.
The conveyor ahead will transport you to the government sector, where Resolution is located. The markings on the conveyor indicate its direction, and there's a pair just like it on the other side. Is it safe? Extremely. There's no need to be afraid. Who said I was afraid? Come on. And here we are, Resolution, the operational heart of Solution 9. From Resolution, we oversee the running of the district and provide essential services to the citizens, such as welfare support and job introductions. It's quicker to show than tell, so let's proceed inside.
Strange contraptions everywhere you look. What's that?
An infusion station. It dispenses souls in exchange for credits. Through hard work, citizens can obtain the peace of mind provided by spare souls. It's the way of life for Alexandrians, and has been for quite some time. But I imagine it must be difficult for outsiders to comprehend.
That's putting it lightly. To be honest, it sounds disturbing. Still, I won't dismiss it out of hand. Practices like these don't arise from nothing. There's a reason why your culture is the way it is, and I'd like to understand. Won't you tell us some of your realm's history?
Very well. Be warned, though, that it may take a while. In the distant past, Over 1,000 years ago, it's said, lightning energy began to swell in our world. According to ancient records that date back around 8 centuries, the rainy season spanned a quarter of the year, during which time severe thunderstorms ravaged the land. 4 centuries later, this season had lengthened to nearly half the year. The trend continued, with our ancestors spending longer and longer languishing beneath storm clouds. Crops failed and livestock starved. But amidst this growing desperation, a miraculous material was discovered that promised salvation: electrope.
The stuff that's used everywhere.
Indeed. One day, when out inspecting a forest after lightning had caused a fire, a villager came upon a curious black ore none had seen before. Testing revealed that the ore possessed a singular property. It could store lightning and convert it to other energies. In that instant, the scourge of endless storms became a blessing. Dubbed electrope, the ore found use in myriad inventions and dramatically improved people's lives. So much so, in fact, that all nations soon became dependent upon it, despite the difficulty of obtaining it in quantity. Supply was chronically scarce, and when nations couldn't meet their needs with their own deposits, some resorted to taking electrope from others. Fighting was isolated and sporadic until electrope came to be used in warfare. First in the weaponry of invaders, then in the countermeasures of defenders, and then in every aspect of combat where an advantage might be had. This served only to exacerbate the ore shortage, leading to further escalation. Before long, the entire world was engulfed in a terrible war known as the Storm Surge. As the war came to a head, Alexandria's neighbor, Lindblum, committed its stores of electrope to the production of a weapon of mass destruction. They deployed it on the front lines and triggered a calamity of frightful magnitude. Not even...
Oop, didn't mean to skip that.
So that's how your world came to be this way.
You truly know a great many things that I don't. I should like to learn about you too sometime. But to continue the tale, the people of Alexandria had already lost much to the war. They lost almost everything else to the Levin. Those who survived bore deep scars, tormented by the memory of loved ones taken too soon. Though they yet lived, the cruel spectre of death was with them always. Seeking a solution, our scientists turned once more to electrope, and after extensive research, they developed the means to preserve memory and soul. Physical death isn't the end. So long as our memories endure, we may live on. This belief sustained us then, and it sustains us now, granting us comfort.
That's quite a tale.
Your Majesty, help me! I beg you, help me!
What's the matter?
I've got no souls left. Not a single one! But the lot at Soul Supply refused to give me any! Please, you must do something!
My apologies, Your Majesty. This man, he does no work. Instead, he drinks his days away on Trueview. He has only himself to blame if he has no credits for souls.
That's not true! I'm a fighter at the Arcadian. Or rather, I was. I haven't been allowed to fight because of the King's decree. It isn't my choice.
I see. You're a brave warrior of the arena. I want to help you, I sincerely do. But I cannot give you preferential treatment.
Then open up the Arcadian again, so I can fight!
I'm sorry, but that's not my decision to make. The king requires feral souls for war. He doesn't wish for them to be expended on amusements.
You're useless! A queen in naught but name!
Insolent wretch! How dare you take that tone with Her Majesty?
It's quite all right. Such things don't bother me, nor do I think ill of this man. Hear me. Though I cannot grant you a soul, I mean it when I say I want you to live. I love all of you equally, dearly. You are as family to me, and it pains me to see you deny yourself hope. I want you to find a happiness all your own, even if you must grow it from the smallest seed of joy. Out there, somewhere, is a reason for you to smile again. We all need to vent our frustrations from time to time. I will always be willing to lend an ear.
Yes, Mum. Of course. Even without a spare soul, I suppose I'm fine as long as I stay in Solution 9. I apologize for my rudeness. Good day to you.
Keep your chin up, my friend. And when you feel better, I'm sure you'll find another way to apply your talents. I'm sorry you had to see that. Let's keep moving, shall we? Right. I believe we've visited all the main facilities. With that, I declare our tour concluded.
That man from before, does that sort of thing happen often?
Somewhat. It's unavoidable. Hardships are a fact of life. Our soul management system has sustained our realm for generations, but it isn't without flaws. For one, people have become accustomed to having spare souls. Without them, they feel vulnerable and anxious. Some claim it may also have contributed to a decline in births.
Just thinking out loud, but would it be possible to do away with the system?
No.
I know it isn't easy to change one's beliefs and way of life. But if we defeated Zoralja, you'd be able to make all the decisions, right? Then we could work together to fix things. Restore your realm to where it belongs, and see where we can go from there.
Listen to me. There's something that I need to tell you.
What is it?
Actually, never mind. It's nothing of importance. Well, it was lovely showing you around.
Of course. Thanks so much for the tour. We've learned not only about your realm, but you as well. For now, our priority is Zoralja. But once we've dealt with him, perhaps I can return the favor.
I'd like that very much. It seems I've no choice but to continue down this path. Forgive me, Val Wuklamat, but I must disappoint you.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What we need is a spell where we can shut out all the outside and no scrying devices, no spine. Disconnect her from the matrix and find out what she really. Although that actor might kill her.
Yeah, it depends on whether she's in the Matrix or she is the Matrix.
Yeah. And for some reason, whatever Jar Jar can actually hear and read what she's saying because he's connected too. But yeah.
Have you noticed the writing on the back, like on her back, that she's got writing and stuff?
I just noticed it when she was walking away. I did not notice what it said. Of course, it's probably in one of the glyph systems in the game and isn't readable, but...
Yeah, that's what it is. I noticed it yesterday too, but there's some on the, like on her front piece. She's got an oval that's got some writing on it, but then she has some on her back as well.
Yeah. What was Sphene wanting to tell us, I wonder? Well, it could wait for another time. We've been exploring for a while now, and should probably go to Kashua's meeting point. That'll be back the way we came, I think. Lindblum was also a nation in Final Fantasy IX, although it did not destroy the world.
Maybe she pulled it backward on purpose.
I'm trying to remember which of its... I can't remember which nation was Lindblum. There are like 5 or 6 other nations in the game, but Alexandria was very much the aggressor in FF9. Sphene genuinely cares for her people. I can respect her for that. And thanks to her tour, I've come to better understand the lives of Alexandrians. They don't feel so strange and distant anymore.
Congrats.
Thank you.
About 99. Let's see. 1 second, I'm not gonna.
Oh, it's an ugly weapon. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a pretty ugly sword, too. Shield isn't bad, but the sword's not very good.
I'm switching.
It's okay.
Oh, it kind of, I like the spinny part.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Indeed.
Let's see what happens when you change it with the wrong button. Oh, so the healers is the same looking one. Okay.
So, we're supposed to go to a place called True View in the eastern sector. This conveyor ought to take us there. You know, once you get used to it, they're actually kind of fun. Come on. This is the right place, you think? I don't see the others, though. Well, rather than sitting and waiting, we might as well explore a bit more. Huh. Look over there. A Mamolja child. What are they doing here? You noticed too, right? The resemblance to Zoro jaw? No, I did not. But
I know.
the blue scales of a Bonella with the features of a Hobigo. This can't be a coincidence. At any rate, it wouldn't do to leave such a small child on their own. Come on, let's go after them.
Get out of it. What a bully. Oh yeah, get some camouflage going. It's gonna be one of those ones where we split up and go after them, isn't it?
I hope it's not a stealth mission.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Trying to figure out why we're looking where we're looking, because that's not the way. I don't know.
Well, nobody ever accused Wu Lamont of being good at this.
Sure.
So,
He was just a warrior after all.
indeed. So this is True View. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but it does seem lively. It's a giant pair of graphics cards. That's what it is.
Back to back.
So, giant graphics card, that means that thing's a Bitcoin miner. Everything makes sense now. That building's just about the only one that isn't lit up. Not open for business at the moment, I guess.
Whoa.
I didn't see you there. Listen, we don't mean you any harm. We just want to talk. It's a bit odd, don't you think? They run off when we approach, only to suddenly reappear. Could it be they want us to take a... They want to take us somewhere? Is that the way of it? You want us to follow you? So it is. Alright then, lead the way. Oh, we just need to follow. And he runs slower than we do, so. Actually reminds me, I was playing the latest installment of the Final Fantasy VII Remake on Friday, and there was a quest much like this one that specifically said, if you lose sight of this character, or don't lose sight of this character. Well, if I ran in front of them, the game counted that as losing sight of them. So.
Ouch.
Because they were behind me now, thus I couldn't see them. Is this where you wanted to bring us? What is this place? You're meant to relax here. It isn't working for me. Hey, what's your name? So you're not inclined to talk. He'll only talk if he's completely comfortable with you. You know him? After a fashion, but never mind that. How about something to wet your whistle? Adorable as you are, it's on the house. I can recommend our special, Her Majesty. I'll prepare one without liquor for the boy, too. I guess we were supposed to meet a guide. Maybe the Mumble Jaw child is supposed to be our guide. Thanks, but no thanks. We're supposed to meet a friend named Kashua. Well, we ran into the child on the way and he led us here. Oh, so you're with Kashua. In that case, go and have a chat with Big Tassos there. He'll show you to a fun place. What about him? I don't think he's in a mood to talk, so he can tend bar with me. This is taking a turn for the strange, but you don't think we're walking into a trap, do you? Damned if this doesn't have suspicious written all over it. Well, I mean, you are the one who walked into a bar and announced you're here to meet the head of the rebellion, Luke Lamont.
Mm-hmm.
What is this fun place meant to be? Is Kashua there? Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out. That doesn't look too bad. This area is normally off limits, but Kashua told us about you. Just follow the corridor and head into the room at the end. Let's go. Whatever happens, you won't catch me being surprised. You know, I just noticed something. There have actually been very few solo duties in this X-Pack so far. At this point, we had like 6 of them in Walker. And I think we've had 2.
Yeah.
We've only just arrived ourselves.
Amazing.
I bid you welcome to the back room. Oblivion's humble headquarters.
A hideout tucked behind a drinking hole. Brings back memories, doesn't it?
Not really, Alizé. I didn't even think about that.
Our members here are mainly creators and adapters. That is, scientists and engineers who specialize in electro. They use their skills to provide support to our field operatives. Shale, be so kind as to give our friends an overview of your duties.
Oh no, it's another incarnation of this guy.
Well, there's provisioning. Gotta have supplies to fight a good fight, ain't ya? Luckily, we got the tools to craft most of what we need.
Gathering intelligence is another vital aspect of our work. Everkeep's core system is a veritable treasure trove of information. You just need to know how to get in and find it. We also handle surveillance and communications, watching the enemy's movements and coordinating our own, that sort of thing.
And among all our activities, we spend a fair bit of effort investigating preservation. The organization credited with laying the foundations of electrope technology. From the soul management system to Everkeep's design, they're behind just about everything you see here. It'd be no exaggeration to say they made this realm what it is. But their magnum opus was without a doubt the power which was used to join Alexandria to Tural. Interdimensional fusion.
Said power isn't unlike my summoning technique and the magic within Azam's crystal. Yet, though the effect is localized, to be able to fuse realities. Even with my knowledge, I struggle to conceive how it could be possible.
Incidentally, the founders of our group, a husband and wife, were members of Preservation at one point. That they opposed the fusing of worlds, and so defected in order to prevent it.
While not entirely unexpected, given what we have seen, this is still quite the revelation.
By the by, that's an interesting earring you have there. A novel way of carrying a data storage device. Oh, you didn't know? Well, as a precautionary measure against machine infiltration, we scan everyone as they enter. And when we scanned you, we detected a small quantity of electro. Though it's been dressed up, that earring is a storage device and no mistake. Bought it from a shop here, did...
No, it isn't bought, but inherited.
So these people sent you through the portal along with the earring?
Do you know aught of that?
Listen, Cryo. It's believed that they were Malala. Though we have no evidence at present, we can't rule out the possibility that they were your parents. This I posit because they were the very individuals who spearheaded the research into interdimensional fusion. As traitors to preservation, they were relentlessly pursued. If they had a child they feared they couldn't keep safe, entrusting her to the people of another world might have been their best option.
My parent. Tell me everything you know about them, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant.
We don't even know their names, I'm afraid. In a bid to elude preservation's agents, we suspect they erased all trace of themselves. I'm sorry we couldn't be of more help. If you're interested, though, you're welcome to review our accumulated data.
Yes, please.
He's wearing a data storage device. Finding what is on that seems like the important thing to do here, people.
I should also like to peruse the data. Where the joining of realities is concerned, I may well be of service.
Of course. Feel free to peruse to your heart's content.
Thank you.
If you like, I can examine your earring. I have to say, the prospect that it belonged to our founders has me itching to... I
dare say we have enough eyes to pore over your records. Is there any other way we might be productive?
Not right now. We're still waiting for Zoralja to make the next move.
In that case, Alice, would you mind accompanying?
Gladly.
Oh, I've buggered it up again!
Never a moment's peace. Pay him no mind. I don't.
Oi! You two there! One of you give me a hand, would you? Don't matter who.
I just remembered I have matters to...
Hello again, Geralt. I can't remember the other names you've gone by, but yeah.
I did not like that laugh.
Well, if he gets a little too stuck up, we'll introduce him to another man who doesn't like to wear clothes, and then he will definitely regret the decision. Just like his incarnation on the Source feels, and his incarnation on the First. Sorry you had to see me passion spilling over. Happens when you put your heart and soul into your craft, you know. And not to be weird or nothing, but I feel a sense of kinship when I saw you, as if we've met in another life. Anyway, as I was saying, I need someone to lend me a hand. I haven't slept for 2 nights now, not a wink, and I'm ripe to collapse. Can't afford to, though. Got folks relying on me, you see. But if I'm to keep at it, I need you to fetch my favorite energy tonic. That voucher's good for 2 cans. One for yourself and one for yourself by way of welcome. Can't get the stuff into the old vending machine, though. Need to talk to a bloke named Philemon. You'll find him tending bar out in the main strip. Off you go now. And for the record, I was literally yelling at my screen when Kryle is asking them to tell them legends about her parents when she's wearing a data storage device on her ear.
Uh-huh.
Nothing else is relevant right now, Kryle. Go get that looked at.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Welcome. What are you having? Energy tonics you can't get from vending machines. How dare you suggest that I sell such dangerous stuff? Away with you. Away with you and don't come back. Got a voucher? Slip it to me then. Nice and subtle. Ah, so you're collecting for Gnault. A can for him and a can for you, eh? Here you go. Yours is formulated for beginners, gentler than the full-strength stuff. It's not contraband or anything, so you won't run afoul of the authorities. But if the Rodinia Consortium was made aware of my special selection, it'd be bad for business. Now, seeing as it's your first time, I want you to drink your tonic here, just in case there's side effects.
I can't find it.
Nice. Zora.
How did you drink that? Where is it?
It's
on your quest bar.
bag.
It's also in your bag,
Oh.
but on your quest bar too.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, now that's how you do it. Your pulse ought to quicken soon, after which you'll start seeing everything more clearly, and then finally you'll feel a roaring surge of energy. People say it's like growing a pair of rainbow wings. Well, you haven't upped and carked it, so hurry along and give Gnault his tonic. He tends to leave it to the last moment, and I expect he's about to keel over.
It's cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad the effect doesn't last long.
Indeed.
No.
I wonder if we'll be able to come back later and buy more from the guy.
Yeah.
We're very secure hideout. No.
You've got the tonic? Hand it here now. Ah, that's the stuff. Ain't nothing like the... Ain't nothing like it to blow the cobwebs right out with a big kaboom. Awakens something feral in me, it does. Transforms me into a remorseless beast who won't stop till it's done what it's born to do. Any road, sorry for sending you off on an errand like that. I just can't concentrate without my tonic, you know. And the pile of work only ever gets bigger. Speaking of which, I better get back to it. Those weapons and tools ain't gonna enhance themselves. I talked to Alice. Is it just me, or are there rainbows in your eyes?
Does this mean that I can't remember, the weapon that we've been upgrading can now be upgraded more?
Probably not, no.
Oh, okay.
There will probably be a new relic we have to build somehow in this X-Pack, but they probably would not require us to use the one from last X-Pack.
Gotcha.
I've been meaning to ask about that Mamulja child. Could he be...
Yes. In all likelihood, he's Zoralja's son.
So you think so too? But what is he doing here?
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
To think he'd cast aside his child.
We can't say for certain who he was born to, or why he was on his own. But he's a blue-scaled Hubigo, and Zoralja is the only other one around. That being the case, everyone assumes they're father and son. Even the boy has put two and two together. This all happened when he was very little, so he has no recollection of his parents. It breaks my heart to think of it.
What's his name?
Gululja. It was my hope that he'd grow up to be a man of principle, like his grandfather.
It's a fine name.
I should mention that the boy is a little At first, I intended to raise him as my own. But just when I thought he was warming to me, he suddenly disappeared. We searched high and low for several days. And where should he turn up? But in the wilds near Ever.
What? It's a miracle he didn't fall prey to fiends.
See? That's another unusual thing. Creatures don't seem to attack him. He could pick his way through the Thunder Yards as if he were on a stroll. On making inquiries, we learned that he had been living alone and receiving food from the people of the outskirts. This became something of a pattern. We track him down and bring him back, only for him to disappear again within a matter of... He would return to the wilds without fail, and once again rely on the kindness of strangers to survive. Finally, I took the hint and left him be, giving him the solitude he prefers and lending a hand only when he explicitly asks.
If Gululja is Zoralja's child, assuming he's willing, I'd be glad to... But seeing as I'm here to kill his father, I don't know if it would be right.
Who was that?
Oh dear. It's Gululja.
Don't tell me he heard everything.
Ah, this is my fault. I asked that he be kept away, but I should have taken more...
I'm going after him.
Wait, Lamachi. I understand your haste, but it'd be best to coordinate a Kapkiwa, do you have any idea where he might go?
There's no telling, I'm afraid. He could as easily be outside the tower as here in Solution 9.
If those who can fight would search below, my mother and I will scour the...
Sounds like a plan.
If Galulja is outside the tower, we need to find him as quickly as possible. Even if he's used to getting around on his own, the wilds are still no place for a child. Agreed. While Kryl and Raha continue reviewing the data, the three of us should devote ourselves to the search. Alright, let's head to the base of the tower and take it from there. Or, you know, we could have just immediately gone after him the moment that we saw him, instead of having a meeting about it.
Yeah.
Could have caught him before he made it through these doors.
That would have been too easy.
Well, just need to point out to Alizé. Alizé, I know that Alpha Node isn't here right now, but that doesn't mean that you need to follow his propensity to require meetings for everything, okay?
Oh, you took the Aetherite all the way out to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I was thinking you guys just got sent to a different instance.
Nope, we're still in the Solution 9 or whatever it's called.
Oh, I have different. Which one are you in? 1, 2,
Yeah.
or 3?
What? Yeah.
Wait, no. Are you in the outskirts or the, what you call it, station?
I just went to the Aetherite and said, take me outside.
Oh, okay.
And what instance are you?
I'm in 3.
3? Okay.
Oh, that's right. We get an option when we leave.
Ah. In all honesty, I clicked through that option without even seeing what it was. Well, here we are, outside. But where do we even begin? Perhaps someone has caught sight of Galulja? Let's make inquiries nearby. Good idea. Could you handle the outskirts, Alizé? In the meantime, he and I will head beyond that big wall.
Okay.
Jump in first, though.
Eh?
My head. Well, I gotta accept the quest and stuff, and my headset's tiny.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, that's odd. I'm not getting the sound effects of the enemies attacking me.
They all targeted me, I think. Did they target you too?
Ah. Evening, Drac. Have a good night.
Nemo's always picking fights.
Yeah, always.
He's like, I'm a healer. My people protect me.
Galulja doesn't appear to be in this area. However, you catch sight of a group of people a short distance to the southwest. You spotted those people too, yes? Perhaps they've seen something. Come on.
How come that didn't get me in there? Apparently I pushed the wrong button. There's green up there. Aetherite. Ether current. To our well, it's right there, straight up.
I see it.
Left side.
Hold your thoughts, Wooklomot. We gotta get this before we can talk about a child.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As many of these as we can. Start flying someday.
Looks like some sort of salvage yard. We'll ask after Galulja. Galulja isn't here. You know the boy? Have you seen him? Oh, forgive me. I didn't know you were. No offense taken. My name is Tapu. My eyes may be useless, but my ears are sharper for it. I can recognize people by their footfalls, including Galulja. So he didn't come this way. Where in the world could he be? I do not know your voices. Who are you to Galulja, and why do you search for him? I'm family, though we're not related by blood. His father is my brother. I've only just met Galulja, and we haven't had a chance to talk properly. But I'm about to do something that will make him hate me, and I wanted a chance to explain. His father is your brother. That means you're... Yes, I'm Wuklamot, vow of resolve of Tuliolal. I've journeyed here to bring my brother Zoral Ja to account for murdering our people and our father. When all is said and done, Galulja may want nothing to do with me. Nonetheless, I'll always consider him family. I'll always be there for him, and I want him to know that. It tears you apart to do what you must. The quiver in your voice tells the tale. Galulja was headed south. There he has a place that is as close to a home as he knows. Find and bear your heart to him. Should he in turn bear his heart to you, accept and respect his wishes, as Queen's Fiend respected ours when she granted us place in her realm. I will. Don't worry. But, what do you mean when you say Sphene respected your wishes? Out of concern for our well-being, Her Majesty had urged us to reside inside Everkeep. When we declined, not only did she gracefully accept our decision, she granted us the necessary supplies to make our home here. And since then, she has paid us regular visits to see how we fare. That sounds like Sphene, all right. Oh, thanks for telling me about Galulja. I'll find him, and then we'll have a good talk. We'll continue south, it seems. Let's keep our eyes peeled as we make our way.
That looks crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
The lightning bubble in the distance.
Oh. That is home.
It's a town. And half of it's submerged. The architecture looks nothing like what we've seen so far. It's more Charlian.
How would she know that? Oh no, she was there. Never mind. I take it back.
It doesn't look Charlian though.
No.
Ah, there he is among the ruins. I only caught a glimpse, but there's no mistaking that tiny silhouette. Let's hurry after him. It'd be a disaster if a building collapsed while he's inside. I would say that's unlikely to occur, Wook Lamont. He lives here. He knows what buildings are going to collapse on him. I only saw him for a moment when he disappeared behind the building, but I'm pretty sure Galul Jah was headed further south. I'll contact Alice by on LinkPearl and let her know to join us.
Ooh, there's a sentry on a bike.
Oh, well, apparently he's not in the town. Oh, there's another wing of it over here. This is the area, but the canals and the debris make it hard to get a good view. Let's split up and search. If you could head into the canals, I'll make my way through the streets. When we find Galul Jah, let's watch from a distance until he gets to his destination. Wouldn't want to startle him and cause an accident. Oh no, another stealth section coming up.
No, I was muted. They're saying, how come we always have to run in the sewers or canals? I mean.
He's come a long way on such short legs. It's a relief he didn't...
What's here, I wonder? So he's looking after those little...
Gulurja.
Not another step!
What?
A sentry?
Run, Gulurja, run!
You know the boy. Who are you? And what do you want?
My name is Wuklamat, and I've come to talk to Gulurja.
Is that so?
I'm sorry if I scared you. I want to get...
And you, my boy, do you wish to speak with them?
I heard them talking. She said she's going to kill my father.
Villains! I will deal with them forthwith!
But... I want to get to know her too.
I see. If that is your desire, then I shall stand.
All right then. Let's talk, you and I. But, who's the ancient-looking and articulate?
If I look ancient, it is because I am. This has been my vessel for no less than 380 years.
Vessel?
Otis is my friend. When I was hungry and sad, he came and looked after me. He cooks for me, and teaches me all kinds of things. Like how to read and write and not be noticed by dangerous...
This machine cooks for you?
And teaches you about fiends.
Ah! How remiss of me. I have neglected to introduce myself. Sir Otis Valona, Lord Captain of the Royal Knights of Alexandria. At your service.
You're captain of the...
And there I thought it was Kululja with whom you wished to speak. Not that I'm averse to taking a walk down memory lane. But ere I regale you, we must take our repast.
A meal. Here. I hate to turn down food, but I'd prefer to have...
Please, I'm...
All right, all right.
She's going to spoil her nephew silly. I'll send word to Erenville.
Now, if I might prevail upon your assistance, I...
Otis here, while having a different name, is very, very similar to one of the main characters in Final Fantasy IX. Even the voice he speaks with is very similar to the one that I came up with to voice him when I was reading the voice lines in FF9. So, my new friends, I would enlist your aid in procuring the ingredients for our repast. After all, the most enjoyable meals are those we make together. We're happy to pitch in, of course. Which ingredients do you have in mind? First of all, some yam and pumpkin. The people of the outskirts should be willing to share their harvest, if you and Galulja go and speak to them. Sure, I'll ask for the cast-offs too, as usual. As for you, I would be obliged if you would procure some woolback meat. The creatures can be found grazing on the slopes outside of town. As beef is less readily available, their flesh makes a good substitute. That of the younger ones especially, as it is more tender and less gamey. Consider it done. We'll be back with the meat before you know it. Thank you kindly. In the meantime, I shall see to other preparations. What's this? Am I to understand that you have already procured the meat? Good heavens, you have. And such a choice cut it is besides. 'Tis plain you know how to handle yourself in battle. Were it 400 years ago, I would have recruited you to the Royal Knights. Once Alice brings her portion, we shall have a glorious bounty to satisfy growing younglings like yourselves. Indeed, I expect there will be ample leftovers to share with the good folk of the drift towns. They always appreciate a warm meal. Now, seeing as you have completed your task so quickly, I have another request to make of you. We've exhausted our supplies of kindling electrope, and I should be grateful if you could search the houses yonder for more. In the Old Kingdom, electrope rations were issued to each citizen, while small fragments may still be found here and there. If you can obtain 5 pieces, say at least one ought to be what we require. That is, the kind that converts lightning to fire. Galul can identify them by their circuitry, so pray take them to him. The boy has become quite deft at discerning electrope types, and in a very short time, I might add. Now, off you go, and happy foraging. Some over here in this doorway if you missed it before.
Yeah, we got that one. Was there one over by where you guys were?
No.
Okay.
No, I've only found 2 so far.
Okay.
And this circle has disappeared now for me.
Me too.
There's an aetheryte over here.
Alright.
Where?
Bridge over here.
There we go. Ah, that's it. Now. Everybody at 3, well, maybe 4.
Yeah.
Definitely gotta get that. That's where over there.
They all seem to want to beat up Zora. Otis says you have electrope for me. Wow, you found a lot. Let's see. This one creates wind. This one is for water. You tell just like that? I'm impressed. Clever, isn't he? I bet he gets it from his father. Ah, this is it. This converts to fire. It's absorbed lots of lightning, so we should be able to kindle a flame easily. Thank you. Thank you for your kind assistance. We have everything we need for our repast. You have done it. You have done your part, and now I shall do mine. I bid you relax, my friends. The meal will soon be served. This is the kind of thing families do, Galulja. We have meals together, talk about what's on our minds. So you ate with your father? Yes, with them and my brothers. It was mostly the head of Resolve, and It was mostly the head and Resolve and I doing the talking, though. Buana and the head of Reason occasionally joined in, and Zeral Jah spoke when he was spoken to. You said that you have two papas. Does that mean one is yours and the other is my father's? No, both are our father. He's what people call blessed siblings, a Mamal Jah with two heads. Zeral Jah is his true-born child, while Koana and I were adopted and don't share the same blood. But that doesn't make us any less a family. What matters is that our hearts are connected. The head of Resolve taught me that. Family. Do you have someone like that too? A person you think is family, even though you don't share the same blood? That's a good question. What about you? We think of the Scions as our family. So option 1. I'd like to meet them one day. So Galulja, I'm hoping that we could be family, you and I. Won't you tell me about yourself? You really want to know about me? I do. Want to know all about you. The things you love, the things you hate, anything and everything. I want to know all about you, too. That reminds me, we were hoping to hear your story, too, Otis. As you wish. Be forewarned that mine is a tale that will be long in the recounting. It was before lightning had altered the world, and I was appointed Lord Captain of the Royal Knights. We're talking hundreds of years prior to the calamity, right? Indeed. Earlier still than when I assumed this mechanical form. 450 years ago. 454 years ago, to be precise. Then you used to be a normal person? Oh yes, I was once flesh and blood like you, and I proudly served as a knight of Alexandria. So rather than a machine that behaves like a person, you are an actual person. How is that possible? 'Tis only natural that you are confused. Hear my tale to the end, and all shall become clear. The foremost duty of the royal knights was the protection of the royal family. In my time, there was their majesties, the king and queen, and their only child, her highness the princess. By then, every nation of our star was embroiled in some manner of conflict over Electrope. Thus was our kingdom drawn into a war with its neighbor. That war was the catalyst for the great calamity that altered the environment. Countless countrymen lost their lives amidst the chaos, the king and queen among them. For a blessing, we were able to protect the princess, who then rose to the occasion and brought hope to her people in those trying times. So kind-hearted was our young queen that, at her behest, we even took in refugees from the enemy nation. But sadly, her reign was cut short. Like many others, her body had been ravaged by lightning, and one day she collapsed and passed away. How tragic. Aye, nary was there a citizen whose eyes remained dry, and many a moon was spent constructing a great tomb worthy of her memory. Yet I clung to hope still, for while Her Majesty was on her deathbed, the kingdom's finest scientists had successfully extracted her soul.
Oh, shit.
Did we hear that right? Extracted her soul. Our flesh may wither and die, but so long as we are remembered, we may live on. This age-old belief had always comforted our people. But as casualties mounted in the wake of the calamity, we sought to make it into reality through the power of Electrope. I just had a random thought. The Yaqui were having visions of the Golden City. The Golden City is Alexandria. I wonder if the Yaqui picked up their tradition of remembering the dead from this.
Mm-hmm.
In time, we succeeded in developing the means to preserve the soul, and it was used to spare the queen eternal death. Yet it wasn't enough to simply prevent the soul's departure, for the ultimate goal was to recreate a person as they were in life, and this required that their memories be further extracted from their soul. It took many more years of research to make this possible, by which time I had become a gray old man. With my days numbered, I did not hesitate to volunteer myself as a test subject for the procedure. So it was that I attained this vessel, and by such successful rebirth, I paved the way for those who are recreated from their memories of the departed. The Endless, they are called. If your tale is true, then the queen that your people brought back to life. I'm going with option 1. It wouldn't be Sphene, would it? Oh, so you know Her Majesty as well. My description of her boundless kindness must have paled in the comparison to what you no doubt felt in her presence. I haven't met her myself, I confess. Not since assuming my current form. Wouldn't want to frighten the living daylights out of her.
So my guess is she can't eat food.
Or at the very least, doesn't need to.
Oh yeah, or even taste it.
The Endless, so all this time Sphene wasn't alive? She lives, yet she does not. Is admittedly a difficult distinction to make. Having inherited the memories of a departed soul, an Endless feels, thinks, and acts precisely as that person would. In that sense, I believe they are alive. The Alexandrians know about this, right? It can't have gone unnoticed that Sphene is perpetually youthful. No one really knows about the Endless. People who wear regulators don't even think about death. Everyone sees that the queen doesn't age, but they just accept it. To them, it's just who she is. Are there Endless apart from yourselves? While there should be as many Endless as there are as those who have died, I believe they are limited in where they can exist. Queen Sphene is unique in her ability to appear before you. Strictly speaking, I myself am not an Endless. They are created using memories extracted from a soul, but my entire soul was placed inside a machine. Being inside a machine makes you different how? While I do not understand the finer points, my life is bound to this vessel. If it breaks down, then it would be over for me, much like a being of flesh and blood. Hardly an endless, unchanging life, I'm sure you'll agree. An endless, unchanging life. I can't help but be reminded of the Ea. Did Kashua and the others know about all this? Considering their extensive intelligence gathering, I'd be surprised if they didn't. For now, let's share what we've learned with Kryl and Raha. I can't help but have misgivings about this.
Nahe, is that you?
Good gods, Ellen Nespia! It's been too long, my friend. Where have you been all these years? What have you been doing with yourself? Hold on. They say Queen Sphene has guests from outside the barrier. That's you, I gather?
It seems so. I'm looking for my mother. Do you know where she is?
Your mother? Sorry, but what was she like again?
What? It's Kafkiwa. You know, the one who was too adventurous by half? Who journeyed with the Dawn Servant?
It's not ringing any bells.
You can't be serious. Ours was a tiny little village. Surely you remember her.
I really don't. It's all a blank.
Is anyone else here from the village?
Hey!
Huh? Ellen Espia?
I'm looking for Kafkiwa. Where is she?
What's this all of a sudden? Who's Kafkiwa?
This cannot be. The memories of the departed are taken away. No.
Meshby, where are you? The others will be here soon, so hurry back, won't you? Do you hear me? Say something, would you?
Well, I guess we all know what that means.
Yeah.
Although I will admit, I was pretty much already assuming that from quite a while ago.
Yeah.
When she first showed up as a robot and said, "Oh yes, I'm elsewhere." Yeah, I'm safe, but you can't come see me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in a way, she kind of is. She's where all the dead people are, but she's controlling robots outside.
Yeah.
So that actually kind of makes her kind of a badass, too. Yeah, anyway. I wonder what color I should get. Or just get the gold. Oh, doesn't matter. Just accept it.
Alright, game has given me an ugly helmet to go with my armor, so time to change glamour plates. Or I would if I could, but I can't. So, helmet off.
In town.
Although the mood became a tad subdued at the end, I thoroughly enjoyed our repast together. We did too, Otis. To hear about the Endless was something of a shock, but we likewise enjoyed your company. Above all, I'm glad that you and I could talk, little Ja. We're going to get along great. I just know it. You think so? I'm happy for you, my boy. Now then, I presume you will be returning to Everkeep. Permit me to accompany you at least part of the way. About Sphene. It doesn't matter to me if she's an Endless, whether she's alive like you and me or not. I've seen enough to know that she has a good heart. What worries me is the burden she bears. We still don't know what it is. I expect there are things she can't tell us, not with Zoral Ja watching. But at the very least, I'd like to know what the Endless are to her. Sorry, I didn't mean to delay us. I just felt an urge to share my thoughts with you. Oh, on the way back, let's make a quick stop at the Drift Downs. I want to tell Topwell how it went.
Hang on left. Let's grab that, what is it called?
Aether, it's being
Ether,
hit.
I
I don't know that we
guess.
can do it, can we?
Oh, I'm
Right.
heading this way because there's an Aether Current quest down here. At least I assume it's an Aether Current quest.
He who remembers.
Now here's a face I haven't seen around these parts before. Could I borrow a moment of your time? You see, a member of our group has been making frequent trips up the hill to the graveyard. I suspect there's a problem, but he doesn't seem willing to talk about it. Not to us, anyway. A stranger willing to lend a friendly ear, however, might convince him to open up. If it's not too much to ask, will you travel out to the name slates and speak to him? The man you're looking for is a Shatona like myself.
Yeah. There's a point C. Oh, we're gonna go right past it anyway.
Must admit, this is not the sort of place one expects to make idle conversation with strangers. Are you one of those travelers from beyond the barrier everyone has been talking about? That explains why I haven't seen you around. Let me ask you something, outsider. Have you ever visited a grave to pay your respects? Yeah. Honoring the dead is a common aspect of many cultures, I suppose. In that case, perhaps you could help me with something. Take a stroll around the area. If you happen to spot any particularly grimy gravestone, I ask you wipe them off. It's a lot of work for one man alone, so your assistance would mean a great deal to me.
I think it's an interesting way that they've laid out the great cemetery. In a circle around the center.
Yeah. Those gravestones look much better now, thanks to you. Or perhaps I should say name slates. Too bad the names are all written in Alexandrian. I can't make heads or tails of them. You know about the regulators people wear these days? Whenever someone dies, every last memory of their existence is erased. As an unfortunate consequence, this graveyard has been all but abandoned. But I'm going to fix that. What else am I to do? Stand idly by and let the headstones be lost to time? No. If no one else will give a damn, then it'll have to be me. In Tyrol, I was taught to honor the dead, but here I am in the minority. Most seem content to forget and entrust their memories to the cloud. That's why I can't talk about it with the others. They wouldn't understand. Not like you do. Thanks again, stranger. Yeah, I actually have a old cemetery, actually probably about 300 yards from where I'm sitting. And the old section of the cemetery has graves arranged kind of erratically, kind of following contours in the earth. And the new section of the cemetery, it's all a strict grid. I've just always found that a little odd. Well, the grid is more efficient, I guess, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Leads to no character either.
Yep.
Sorry, I just saw a Cinnabar. I thought I'd go get me one.
Ah.
But now that I got that, I can find the purple round plant thing is that I need to get so I can collect stuff for the higher level 100 level gear. And
gotcha.
It was in this area, but it was all blanketed. I couldn't see it other than the circle. Oh, this is where you find it. But it is now opened. Yay.
Ah, you are returned. Were you able to find Galul Jah? We were, thanks to you. All's well with the boy. I'm relieved to hear that, and to know that he has family who worries for him. Galul Jah Galul Jah too must be glad. I hope so. I'll try not to rush or force anything, though. It's for him to decide what I am to him. My, what a pleasant surprise it is to meet you but in these parts.
That was ominous.
Sphene, what are you doing here? Visiting my people. Are you doing the same, perchance? I suppose we are, yes. Listen, there's something we'd like to talk to you about. Could we have a word in private? So you know about the Endless. While we may not discuss it openly, many people will have surely noticed that I haven't changed for hundreds of years. I've made no attempt to conceal my nature. If I may ask, though, who was it that told you about the Endless? Only a few should be familiar with the concept. I'm afraid I can't say. I bear no ill will toward this mysterious individual, lest that be your concern. I'm merely curious. Tell me, Sphene, you care for your people, that much is plain, and I assume you care for the Endless, too. Earlier in Everkeep, there was something you wanted to tell us. Was it to do with them? The Endless are as dear to me as my living citizens. They are as much my family. But they can only be sustained by meeting certain exacting requirements. Thus far, we've managed to do so, but should more people die, I fear we would be pushed beyond our limit. Their preservation demands of vast amounts of energy. Energy? I don't understand the workings of it all, but is there something we can do to help? Then, would you be willing to become Alexandrian citizens? What? I have my nation, my people to protect. I can't just become Alexandrian. Indeed, I suppose you cannot. First you tell us to make peace, then you tell us to go home. What is exactly that you want? The same as you, of course. To protect my people. I don't know if it was set or anything, but as soon as she said that, there was a thunderclap in my gameplay.
Yes. Every time, and when she showed up, oh, there you are, thunderclap, too. I was like, ooh, that's why I yelled out ominous. It's like, ooh.
Is there something that only Zoral Ja can do? That I cannot say. I do not ask that you understand or like me, but I wish. I wish we had been born on the same side of it. What do you mean by that? Wait, Svi? Damn it. Well, I think we've kept everyone waiting long enough. Let's continue on to Everkeep. And let's not tell Otis about our conversation with Sphene. I don't want to risk causing him pain.
Where's that other quest? I do have to go in. Sorry.
No problem.
I'm back, and KJ said to go ahead and go.
Alright. Excuse me, do you have a moment? If you're headed south, I would ask a favor. My friend went out to study the plant life and hasn't come back. He has a bad habit of getting absorbed in his work and losing track of time. Last I saw him, he was headed southeast of here. If you could just check in on him, I would thoroughly appreciate it. Now, this is a fascinating succulent. Its development is clearly abnormal. Proof, perhaps, that the species has adapted to its new environment over the time. Hello there, stranger. What are you doing out here? For that matter, what am I doing out here? Did I get distracted and wander out of the safe zone again? Yopia is probably worried sick about me. I'll have to thank her for sending you. But first, we need to hurry back to the Drift Downs before some terrifying creature tries to ruin our day. Escort mission.
There you go.
Oh, KJ caught up. Okay.
I'm trying, but he's still back here. There we go. He just does not want to follow. Crap. There we go.
Welcome back. Glad to see you're both in one piece. Forgive me, Yopia. I was so focused on the plants, I nearly wandered headfirst into danger. If you hadn't sent this kind stranger my way, there's no telling what might have happened. Now, I'd better document my findings before I forget. Thanks again, friends. Sorry about him. He grew up in Everkeep, you see, so he's not used to seeing plants in their native habitat, and heritage found is rather unique in that regard. 30 years ago, when the geography changed, 30 years ago when the geography changed, vast swaths of native flora died out while the rest were forced to mutate drastically in order to survive. Worthy of studying, I'm sure. Still, he ought to know it's not safe out here. I wish he wouldn't be so careless. In any case, I'm grateful to you for keeping him safe, and seeing as he didn't think to reward you for it, I suppose I'll have to do it. I swear he'd forget his head if it wasn't attached. And from our conversation with Sveen and what we've learned from Otis, my current theory is a kind of an adaptation of my previous one, is that the Endless, as they call them, are basically the memories in the cloud. But since they've stripped the souls out of them, they still require soul energy to stay alive. And with the population declining, they're not generating new souls fast enough.
Mm-hmm. I think they're not generating souls fast enough either way. Whether it's souls are their actual energy source, or if they need them also so that the other people, the dead people, don't die.
Yeah.
And the living ones. Yeah.
Why don't you come with us? You might get to see Sving.
Tis a magnanimous and much appreciated offer, but I must decline. A part of me longs for an audience with Her Majesty, it is true. Yet, though it be in my previous life, I failed to protect my queen. I couldn't bear to show my face before her. And such an uncomely one besides.
All right. If that's how you feel, we won't force you. But rest assured, we'll visit with Kululja, and we hope you'll cook for us again.
It would be my pleasure. You are welcome to bring other comrades should you so desire. The more the merrier.
I've been looking all over for you!
Nostalgia, was it? What's the...
It's Zeralja. He marches to Vanguard.
So he's done waiting. But why weren't we alerted?
Our transmissions are being jammed. The lookouts couldn't get through to us. Wayakwe is at Vanguard too, but I can't reach her. What are we to do?
Stay calm. Kafkiwa has yet to be alerted, yes? Take her to the back room as fast as you can.
Our link pearls may still work. I'll try contacting those in...
Otis, I need you to keep Gulurja safe.
You needn't ask.
I want to go with...
Absolutely not. A battle's...
Gululja, the people of the outskirts must be evacuated. For this crucial task, I require your assistance. Remember, when battle is at hand, anything can happen. Caution is as valuable as any blade.
Yes, sir.
I managed to get hold of Alphano. He'll inform Cone.
Good. How's the situation in Tulichola?
There's nothing to worry about, or so my brother assured me. With such short notice, though, I doubt they'll be...
They'll be ready, I'm sure of it. The vow of reason is not to be... I'm coming, Sorolja. And we will finish this once and for all.
Where's Estinian? He's not out here, right?
No, he's where was the last time we saw
Oh,
Estinian?
he's the town before here.
Yeah, he's in the Wild Wild West.
Yes. Okay. Never mind. I was like, I thought he got trapped out here and was trying to figure out what the hell. Never mind. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, this would be a bad place for Estinian to be. He couldn't walk 2 feet without getting struck by lightning.
His weapon alone.
I mean, he carries a big metal pole with him everywhere he goes. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Lightning rod.
This is the moment of truth. We have to hold Zoralja here. And I know exactly how to do that. Uh-oh. Upon speaking with Luke Lamont, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. She wasn't glowing yellow, so I don't think we have a personal duty coming, so... Before we get going, I have a request to make of you. When we confront Zoralja, you must let me face him alone. What? No, that's far too dangerous. We put you at such a risk. Why put you at such a risk if we don't have to? We have 2 priorities. The first is to hold Zoralja within the dome and protect Tuliolal. The second is to free Wayakwi and if she's been captured. To make sure we succeed, I need to play the worthy foe for Zoralja. If I come at him with help, he'll likely lose interest and proceed with his attack on the city. That's why it needs to be a duel. Even if Tuliolal is prepared this time, it's true that it would be best to avoid another battle, and failing that, we might as well weaken Zoral Ja. Rest assured, I'm not going into this without a strategy. Our time in the dome has given us invaluable insights into the Alexandrian culture. The use of regulators, for one, the secret to Zoral Ja's strength. Also, I would like to note, Alizé, Galul Jaja killed him, and it didn't weaken him. So, then you mean to... That's right, if I destroy his regulator, he'll be unable to draw upon souls. We'll see how much he wants a duel after that. So, will you leave Zoral Ja to me? I don't really like either of these responses. It's nothing the Vow of Resolve can't handle. Thank you. It's true that this is your fight, and how you choose to handle it is your decision. But if we see you struggling, or Zoral Ja attempts to call upon his minions, we will go to your aid. Fair enough. Knowing you'll be there, I can give it my all. Together with Quona, I'll keep Tulial safe.
I had another thought. They were using monsters' souls up until Zuljaja was doing his attacking. Oh.
You disappoint me, Uklamat. We are foes, yet you had my admiration for defeating Father and claiming the throne. But instead of coming for me, you gallivant with the resistance. Do I intimidate you?
I am here, brother. I did not run, nor hide. I have come to kill you. Let her go. Your quarrel is with me.
And will you settle it one-on-one, or call upon all and sundry yet again? Not that it would make any difference.
No. Like Papa did, I'll face you
Really? You believe you stand a chance? Have you forgotten how it ended for Father?
I remember you couldn't win without relying on other people's souls. Alone, I may be weak, but so are you.
So be it. Do not regret your decision. Release her.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I thought I was done for.
You don't.
Had you let her die, you could have dealt me a telling blow. Your compassion will be the end of you.
I'm not letting anyone else die. And you will never surpass Papa.
But I have. With these very hands, I slew him.
His body may be gone, but his spirit lives on. enough.
The Yokui's delusion is catching, I see.
It's no delusion. Papa's love for Tulihiola gives me strength even now. Ah! Come, let's get this over with. For my people and Sphene.
How gullible you are! All of this is Sphene's do. Her objective is to harvest all life outside the barrier. Our interests happen to align, hence our alliance.
Liar! Sphene would never do.
The King of Resolve speaks the truth.
How did she?
The attack on Taral was no less my desire than Zara.
You said you wanted none of this. It was a farce from the very
Yes, I used you.
So it was all just a lie then? What you said about loving your people as family?
I do this for what it's worth, I'm sorry I deceived you. If I'm to save my people, I must take the lives of yours.
Behold, Wuklamat, the benevolent Queen Sphene. An illusion that orchestrated a massacre.
Endless, or machine, or whatever you are now, you bear the memories of the person you once were. You should still have a heart. When you speak of slaughtering my people, do you feel nothing?
Nothing is dearer to me than my people. It matters not whether they are living or endless. As queen, I will do anything to protect them. If it were you, could you have found another way? With your strength, could you have held fast to that which is dear without sacrifice?
What exactly do you seek to do? What are you protecting your people from?
You waste your words. There is no turning back. Is this the strength that they love of? A weak ruler walks a path of ruin. Tell me, which of us is worth?
I already know. It will never be you! As long as you think only of yourself, you'll never be worthy. You can't rely on souls anymore.
Don't.
Didn't mean to skip that.
Give the order to the fleet. Raise Tuli Yulol to the ground and It is over. For Tuli Yulol. Your works, your people, all will be ash.
Don't tell me you've forgotten. I'm not the only Dawn's servant.
They're coming!
Well, come on then, you 10 bastards.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you're enjoying yourself.
I'm Head Sauro. Nothing gets a hunter's blood pumping like a little danger.
Well now, it seems we have that in common. I haven't felt this alive in a good while.
The spirit. We promised Valcona we deliver him a mountain of scrap, and I'm not about to let these hollow men make a liar out of me.
Hey kid, the ones below are yours.
You got it. Wait, what do you mean below? Don't see that every day.
You don't hang it out with enough dragoons. Hello, Thancred.
Hardly sporting, and this despite our best efforts to thin the enemy ranks. While it's not quite what we had planned, I'm glad we chose to remain in Tural.
As am I. 'Twas an unexpected but welcome opportunity to...
And to his credit, Kona did ask very nicely. Still, it's a pity his brother had to delay our pleasure jaunt. But business always comes first.
Come no closer, you bastards!
That was a near thing.
You?
Save your life. Yes, I know.
I never thought you of all people would come to my rescue.
Ah, still rings odd in my ears. But I could get used.
Right. We're not done yet.
We're holding our own against their infantry. But what of that monstrosity? If they start bombarding us with cannon fire, we'll have no means of fighting back.
Worry not. We have a countermeasure.
Oh, you called in the big guns.
A bleeding dragon! What in the Navigator's name is it doing here?
Tuliolal has entered into an alliance with Rads at Han. A wise and timely decision on Valkona's part.
Right in the nick. Tuliolal shall never forget this debt. We will hold out, Lamachi. So keep your eyes forward, and do what only you can do. Finish this.
Report from the fleet. The enemy has offered unexpected resistance. We've been forced to withdraw.
Useless. All of you.
Stop!
Your Majesty.
Enough of this! Enough! You swore you wouldn't harm my people!
Out of my way.
win the... To achieve victory by any means necessary. Suralja to Everkeep. Initiate court blood. Execute all civilians and commandeer their soul.
No! Damn you!
Stop! Please, Father, stop!
Kululcha! I told you...
Kululcha?
You must flee, Kululja! It isn't safe!
I'm not going anywhere!
I am not your father.
Let him go! Using a child as a shield.
Release him at once, or you shall answer to me!
Pitiful relic. Kneel before your king.
Otis? What?
Find me at the top of Everkeep. There, we will determine who is fit to rule.
I must protect them.
Okay, take Otis's legs off and his arms, make him stuck, and then
Well, I will say, for once, when the game says many cutscenes will play in sequence, it meant it.
yeah, that was actually pretty good. I'm hoping one of those dragons was what's his name's sister, that she's back to some kind of full health and powerful again.
She was
that would have been badass.
She was the little Drake next to Krona.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
I was so excited to see the dragons. It was awesome.
Gave me chills.
Yep.
Yes.
We must hurry back to Everkeep. Zoralja thinks nothing of others' lives. He will kill his own people. Chances are we'll have to face a good part of his army, with Otis among them. Let's take all care. Yep. Now we have a gold ring. That probably means good place to call it here then.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright guys, I believe that is where we will call it. And I will see y'all next time. So until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Until next time, have a good night.